I'll just have two small questions coming from what Mr. Sarkar is saying, and after that, if there are one or two questions from the audience. My first question here is, I don't know, I'm not in that business, but as Mr. Sarkar was talking about dynamic pricing being different or challenging, or a challenge to inbound where the rates have to be given 6 months in advance. How do you balance the two problems? The rate that has to be given in advance 6 months before, and dynamic pricing. What is the situation globally? Anyone wants to throw light on that?
So from our perspective, it's an evolving situation, right? India moving to dynamic is not a very, very old story. It's a fairly new story. When I say fairly new, I'm talking about 2 to 3 years. Obviously, we catapulted in speed over the last 2 years because we saw consumers being absolutely fine with buying dynamic. If they can buy dynamic with airlines, why can't they buy dynamic with hotels? It's as simple as this. Having said that, he absolutely mentions a very fair point, right? If you have to sell tours inbound.
No, my understanding, Manish, is that, please correct me if I'm wrong, rate of the day has not a new phenomenon. Rate of the day has been around for some years now.
Yes.
When you say dynamic, you mean rate of the day, isn't it?
Yes, so it's a percentage of.
But it's the rate of the day has been on for some time.
Yes.
But I think the hotels were still giving you some allocated rates 6 months in advance for a tour.
That is correct. For inbound.
Now
for
you are
tours.
saying that is not forthcoming. Am I right? Is that the problem?
Actually, dynamic rates is attached with the advance payment. Where you stand, that is the problem. Now, if a person has to travel 6 months in advance, he is not ready to pay advance money 6 months before. He will pay 1 month before. So there has to be some connection in between, so that what was earlier there, when you make a booking with a normal rates, a special rate given by the hotels, you can hold the rooms, and 30 days before you give the rooming list and pay the advance. So those things were connected. Now with this dynamic rate, it is very difficult for us to, have the booking and pay in advance for so many months. If you look at internationally, this criteria is possible because they are all FITs. And wherever there are group movements are there, there are difficulties. But in other countries also, I have seen they give special deals and they work on the special rates.
So the plea from the tour operator is, given all your scenario, please, if there can be some small allocation for tour operators where you can give them a rate in advance. I'll close that subject. My last one here. I'm also very curious. The e-visas will come, foreign travel will start. Your rates are at the moment 15 to 20% higher than they were in 2019. In all probability, these rates will continue. They are not flattening down at the moment. Domestic will continue. Domestic demand is not petering off just now. There is a surmise that when the air fares open or the air routes open, Indians will use domestic less and go out more. It's only a hypothetical question. To my mind, Indian leisure destinations will continue to be packed by Indians. Do you see will you suddenly give lower rates to foreigners? I don't see foreigners coming in groups at our rates at the moment. There will be competing markets which are cheaper. What is your perception?
So there's a significant point that we missed out here. Hotels being 15 to 20% higher on rates right now. Hotels' cost of operation is up 30% today. And I just feel as we are partners, we should know about this.
No reason why. I'm only saying that what do you see will play out in the market?
Well, again, there's another point here that we missed. India, in domestic markets have always been popular, there's no doubt. But there is a big population in India that never had stayed in branded hotels earlier. In the last 2 years, they've stayed at branded hotels. So there's a big pot of new domestic customers who are here, and they are here to stay because they've gotten used to living in branded hotels and their commitments. And there's a big proportion of that. So rest assured, the one thing that very, very confident of as hoteliers, and we should be totally as a trade, is that there will be a significant domestic market even as e-visas open up and inbound starts to come through. My only submission here, and very, very quickly in 20 seconds, is that please do realize when inbound starts to come through, we're happy to work with the trade with fixed pricing for tours, but those rates need to be in line with the demand in the market. The moment we give lower rates out, I can tell you availability will vanish the moment we start getting closer to the check-in dates.
Okay,
And-
so, I'm sorry,
I'm
we'll
just
have
going to
to.
add to that. Also, I think it's for the larger audience to understand also that rates are a direct reflection of demand. So if you're going to be busy, rates will be high because it's a commodity. I mean, at the end of the day, if I sell the room, I sell it today. Otherwise, it's just an end of
So
the
can
room.
I wind up now because my keynote for the next session is already waiting in the lobby. And very enlightening discussion again. Good panel. I think everybody's benefited from this exchange. And my grateful thanks to each one of you for being here and sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much. Thank you.